Blazor Bootstrap Carousel. In this video, we'll demonstrate how to implement a carousel that can auto-slide and respond to events and user interactions. We'll create a Blazor web app using .NET 8 and set the interactive mode to server per page or component. Once our project is created, we can go to the docs.blazorbootstrap.com site and follow the instructions for our project type to set up Bootstrap. Start by installing the blazor.bootstrap NuGet package. Then copy the CSS references to the app.razor file. We'll just put it here under the existing Bootstrap link. And copy the scripts into the body section. Now we can remove the old Bootstrap reference and delete the Bootstrap folder in the root. Register the service in the program.cs. And finally, put a global using in the imports file. We add a new Razor page to demo the carousel component and add some images for the slides. In the menu Razor file, we add a link to the new carousel demo page and change the icons to native Bootstrap icons. In the menu's CSS file, we make some adjustments to the BI class to display the icons correctly. On to the carousel demo. We'll start with the basics, then add more features as we go along. First, we need to set the page's render mode so the user can interact with the carousel component. Then we set up a basic carousel with 3 carousel items. Each item displays an image. Also, you need to set one of the items to active for the carousel to know where to start. When we run this, our carousel is displayed and it has arrows to move between the slides. But the right-hand arrow is way off to the side. This is because the carousel uses the entire width of the page. Let's fix this. For simplicity, we'll just put the entire carousel in a diff and set the width to the image width. While we're at it, we can also add captions to our slides. These captions will be placed on top of the images. Now our arrows are inside our slide images, and we get a caption for every slide. Next, we'll give our carousel some indicators. These are the bars or dots at the bottom of the slides that indicates which slide is currently showing. Also, instead of the slide effect, we can turn on crossfade to fade between slides. Now we see the indicators, which change through the slides, and we get a fade effect. Of course, in a real-world website, you may want the carousel to start sliding automatically. You can do this by setting the autoplay attribute to start on page load. By default, each slide will pause for 5 seconds before moving on to the next slide. You can change this by setting the interval attribute on each carousel item. Here we changed it to 3 seconds, or 3000 milliseconds. When we go to the page, our carousel will start moving. But we seem to have a problem. The indicators are not changing. They do change when we click on the carousel, so it seems the carousel is waiting for some event before updating the indicators. Let's see how we work with the carousel's events. We'll add a paragraph at the top of the carousel to display some message. Then add the onSlide and onSlid events. The onSlide event fires when the carousel moves to the next slide, and the onSlid event will fire after the slide completes. Here we handle the events by simply changing the contents of the message variable. Now when the carousel autoplays, the indicators change. And arrows are still working. Notice that when we move our cursor away from the carousel, it will start autoplay again. Move onto the carousel again, and the autoplay stops. Also, our message is responding to the onSlide and onSlid events. Right, with that working, the next question is how can we programmatically set up the content of the slides? First, we need to set up the data, either by retrieving it from a service or passing it as a parameter to the component. Here we'll simply create it manually. We got a class that represents a carousel item with an ID, a bool to indicate if it's active, then an image URL, caption, and comment property. We create a list of 3 slide item objects with their respective values. Now, we keep the original carousel structure, but replace the carousel items with a for loop. Each item in our list can then be added as a carousel item. If all goes well, we should see our new carousel with generated slide data. Thank you for watching our video. For more tutorials on C#, hit subscribe and click the reminder. Give us a like so the video can be visible to more people.